What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake NBA DFS Early Look. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And of course, I'm from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed below. Round 2, preseason edition of the Early Look. We'll be doing this Monday through Friday during the regular season as well. A little Early Look free on YouTube, free on Twitch. Get something going on Podbean. So, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are covering preseason NBA, and we will obviously be covering into the regular season, which is really our bread and butter at the WiseTake Nation. If you're looking to improve your game, further your game, go check us out, WiseTake.com. Hit the like button if you haven't already. The likes really go a long way, really help us out. It's currently about 10:32 a.m. Eastern, so it's a little early. Obviously, we'll be expecting some news to come out, stalking beat writers, all that good shit up until lock. We have a pre-lock show that's available for our WiseTake subscribers at wisetake.com. You can get a day pass, $2.50. Also, you'll get access to PAULIE D's fast break sheet, which is just a real quick sheet to kind of give you the core plays, GBP plays, and a little bit of description as to why, and even a little player pool. So make sure you check that out. $2.50 for a day pass. Try us out. No reason not to. Holla. All right. So we got a 3-game slate. So to change the pace a little bit, we've got a couple teams that haven't played yet, and Boston and Philly. We've got James Harden making his preseason debut, right? He hadn't played the last 2 games. He's upset. He wants out of Houston, and apparently he's finally gone to practice and is expected to play today. So question mark around him. Then we have Golden State and Sacramento as a late night hammer, where you got some teams that have actually been playing decent minutes for the expected roles. And I think that in that, quite frankly, that to me seems like maybe the most appealing game stack. But we'll go ahead and get in right now. Starting with the Boston. So we'll go game by game. Looking at Boston, so we don't really know much about their situation. Boston only has 2 preseason games. So you would think that they would want to play certain guys' minutes. However, they have a lot of continuity, right? Tatum, Brown, Smart, Kemba Walker is out. They do have Jeff Teague, who's a newcomer, and Tristan Thompson is out. So I'm unsure of how much we're going to see of of the regulars. How much we're going to see of Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum. Mind you, Kemba Walker is out, and they don't have Gordon Hayward anymore. So maybe there's some extra usage to kind of go around here. I think Jeff Teague would be the one. Now, he's a veteran, so that makes me a little nervous. And I don't think they anticipate him playing that much during the season, maybe like 18, 19 minutes a game, being that he's backing up guys like Marcus Smart, Kemba Walker. But he's 4,900. He's somebody that does have to build that continuity. He's somebody that I can see Boston wanting to see him play with different people to see how he does. So at 4,900, I think he might be an interesting value play at the guard position. Marcus Smart is fine for tournaments, but at 6'5", you're kind of hoping. I mean, when he's 6'5" during the regular season last year, it's like Kemba Walker was out, yeah, but that would be like, he was playing 33 minutes or so. We don't know that today. So just tournaments for him. Same thing goes for Jaylen Brown. I think I'd be most likely to play Tatum, even though he's crazy expensive for the raw points. With Hayward out and Kemba out, we expect Tatum to kind of alpha out. Again, Jaylen Brown, just tournament situation for me. Who I think we have to look at. So I mentioned Daniel Theus Dice, I can never fucking get his name right, is questionable. That's one of the biggest pieces of information that we're waiting on that we know of. We should get that, right? First game, 7:30 p.m. Eastern is this game, so we should get that information. Because if he is out, I think Robert Williams becomes a phenomenal value play at 4,700. And maybe even some Taco Fall. It could be a Taco Tuesday, as I mentioned in the Slack last night, late. So 4K for Taco. And the reason I say this, like, granted, Boston can try to go small ball for sure. But when you look at the other side, you've got Joel Embiid, Dwight Howard, not sure how much they play. I'm sure there is a scenario where both teams can go small just to kind of do it. But again, if you look at we're talking about Greg Williams, Ojale, like these are some of the backups that are on this team. So if Theus is in, I still like Robert Williams a ton because I still think the Time Lord, as they call him, will play a pretty good amount in the preseason. If he's out, then I think that puts both guys in play. And on DraftKings, you can play them both because Robert Williams has power forward eligibility, Taco Fall, center. So you can do that. But at the very least, Robert Williams is looking like should be pretty popular today, and for good reason. Like I said, Tatum, if you're left with some extra money, or just, you know what, you got to spend up. We don't have Giannis. We don't have these guys. We do have John Wall, but he's on the same team as Harden. We don't know how many minutes Harden's going to play. So as far as the studs go, it's not as many of them as you wanted yesterday. It's not as many of them in general, right? Joel Embiid is 7,900. So yeah, I think that the Time Lord is probably where we start. You get the feeling that these young guys are going to get a chance to play, and maybe we could take some shots on them in MME type situations, if you will. But for me, Robert Williams is kind of the standout. Maybe Jeff Teague too. He'll probably grow on me. The only thing I'm nervous about with Teague, like I said, is he is a veteran. But this team only has 2 preseason games. He's got to learn this whole new system. So I don't know. I feel like maybe he could take advantage of Kemba being out and actually get some playing time and see what he could do. Try to build some continuity with his teammates. The Philly side also kind of up in the air in terms of minutes. Sixers also only have 2 preseason games. So, again, you would think that they would want to get guys rolling, but they have some of that continuity, right? Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, obviously, played together for a little while. I'm hearing that Danny Green and Seth Curry are expected to start. That's not anything official. That's just what I've heard from different beat writers on Twitter. Danny Green, 5,800. Are they expecting some different type of role for this guy? I mean, this guy's never 5,800. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even during the regular season. He's rarely this price. So I wonder if DraftKings knows something that we don't. I don't mind taking stabs at guys like Seth Curry. I think Furkan Korkmaz is going to be on the second unit. You could take shots on these guys, but it's really tough to gauge how many minutes. Now, you could argue it is such a good matchup for Joel Embiid that you could certainly argue that even in a tough, even in a situation where he would only get 20, maybe 22 minutes, he could still smash a 7-9. So I'll make that point, and I would agree with that point. But on the Philly side, it's kind of tough. Tobias Harris is 7K. We're already in the range of what he's going to be like in the regular season. Now, again, we do realize that there are guys missing. No Josh Richardson here from last year, no Horford. So maybe there's a little bit more usage to go around. But I'm just really, really unsure of the minutes for Simmons, Embiid, and Tobias. I feel like they know what these guys are, and I feel like they're going to want to play some of the backups. And Howard are in a similar situation, except they do have other, Tony Bradley. They've got Vincent Poirier. So they have other bigs they could use. It's hard to envision a veteran like Howard getting more than 18 minutes regardless, because he's probably not expected to play that when the games come. Like, is he really playing over? How much is he playing over Embiid, really? So, what's up, Brandon? See you. Good chat. Shout out to those of you hanging out with me early. I know it was kind of last minute. I didn't really say what time. Trying different time slots, see what fits. We got a baby on the way too, so we have to make some schedule adjustments as we go along. But we'll make sure we get you the content any way we can. Yeah, Brendan makes a good point. Doc said starters will get a ton of run in at least the first half. And that's the other aspect, right? New coach here. Good point, Brennan. Yeah, so that makes me think that they could get up to 22 minutes, maybe even more than that. But I don't expect them to play a ton in the third. I really don't. I think because they do have a lot of guys they could get out there and get some time for, right? So I'm not sure. Again, tournament situation, I think, is Philly. San Antonio, the Spurs have 3 preseason games. They've played 1 so far. Let's see. They played everyone around 24 minutes in the first game. I would think they're going to increase that as time goes on. So I think that some of these Spurs are in play. DeJounte Murray being one, especially with White out. Apparently, Lonnie Walker, what I didn't know, has been dealing with a sore back issue. I did not catch that the other day when I decided to play him over whoever the fuck else I played, 4-6. DeMar DeRozan is definitely someone you could attempt to spend money on. His overall performances haven't been great. I think I prefer Murray at this point when you consider the prices. Like, DeRozan's just not being the alpha that we know him as. He hasn't been. I think Rudy Gay started. If Rudy Gay is going to be a part of the starting lineup going forward, or even in a scenario where like 5K for Rudy Gay is not bad even during the regular season, assuming he's going to play 24 minutes at least. And I think these guys play 24 at least if they play 22 roughly, or if they average 24 in the last one. So I expect them to. So I think Rudy Gay is definitely an option. LMA at 6'1", the Magician, right? Obviously, he's the Magician for a reason, so you're taking a risk there. But we expect him to play some minutes at the 5 as usual, right? And also the 4. 6'1" for LMA is a pretty good price. It's a pretty good price. Still, I don't know. I kind of still like DeJounte, but 6'1" I will acknowledge is the best price on the board for the Spurs. For the Spurs, main starters. I guess outside of Rudy Gay, well, Rudy Gay, it could be a little scary. Pay 5K for him at times, but I think we're going to see him step it up a little bit this year. I think that I think it's a good sign that they put him in the starting lineup for sure. What's up, Moochie Mob Ties? Yo, CK, what do you think of the Celtic starters? We talked about that before, Moochie. I think that I like the Time Lord in that situation. I'm just unsure. Tournaments are fine, just unsure. They only have 2 preseason games, but they have a lot of continuity. Not sure how much they're going to push the starters. May use that as an opportunity to get some of the new guys some playing time. But definitely in playing tournaments, because fuck isn't. Houston side, Christian Wood supposed to be out. Boogie Cousins price is up. So here we are. We talked about this a little bit, right? James Harden 8,500, John Wall 8,100. So Wall's been getting minutes, right? Like, and he's been playing like a beast. Now Harden coming back, you would think would have a big impact on his usage. They could stagger them a little bit, but I think the plan is to try to see how they play together, and all that stuff. We're very unsure of the situation. Harden is the most expensive player on this slate, rightfully so. He hasn't played in the game, so Wall's been built up a little bit. You could even argue that Boogie's been built up a little bit at center. Harden has not played in the preseason, and he's upset. From what we hear, I haven't heard Harden say anything, but from what we hear, he really wants out, right? They pleaded with him, let's make this work. He's not interested. That's what their reports are. So the Rockets, they've had 2 preseason games, and they have 4 total. They got 2 more left, including this one. I would think they're going to try to get Harden some work, assuming that if Harden is on this team, he's going to want to play the big minutes he's always played. I think D'Antoni had a lot to do with that, but I think it was also Harden wanting to be out there. But again, we're unsure of how this new cast is going to affect them. I think that maybe Harden being back, I think we'll see. I kind of expect to see some ownership on Wall. I mean, why wouldn't you? His price hasn't gone up a ton, and in 2 straight games he's gotten work. But it's a nerve-wracking situation. I kind of think in tournaments, in cash games, maybe you lean towards the Wall, but in tournaments, I kind of want to lean towards Harden a little bit, just hoping that I can get a low-owned Harden at this price. But it's a risk. There's a lot we don't know. This obviously you would assume is going to hurt Eric Gordon, whose price has come up pretty substantially. I think the next place, Bruno at 4.9, he didn't get a ton of minutes, but with Christian Wood out, he's taking advantage of it. But I think we're getting a couple other guys back. Boogie I'm okay with too, but the minutes have been gradually increasing. They're just low, but this is a phenomenal spot. I mean, bigs against San Antonio is just phenomenal. So even at 6'2", while it's not like lock button situation for me necessarily, it's still a real low price for Boogie in a game where he could possibly break 20 minutes. So let me look up what he's done. I forget how many minutes Boogie played. On the second game, Boogie. There he is, 17 minutes. He got 17 minutes. That was in the second game. Maybe he didn't go up. He played 15, then 17. So probably looking at like 19, and maybe he goes over 20 on the fourth game. So it's still a risk, but obviously massive upside. Boogie Cousins. Right? So yeah, I think the Rockets, I expect the Rockets game to kind of get some ownership in a way. I just think people look at like John Wall and they look at the situation, and the Spurs, the fact that they played their guys decent minutes in their first game. I think it's going to have carry some ownership. Just keep that in mind. It is a 3-game slate. So you got to get different. I mean, you got to play some chalk. I get it. New Orleans, a lot of those players like Zion, Ingram were good chalk, but you still got to get different somewhere. Golden State, Sacramento. So this is probably my favorite game, at least for tournaments. The Warriors have 3 preseason games. In the first game, they played everyone 20 to 22 minutes. Steph Curry played 21 minutes. I would think with just 2 left, like, unless they actually get ruled out for rest in this game, this could be at least a semi-dress rehearsal, if not the full thing. It's possible Golden State uses the third one as a full one. It's possible they don't even play in the third one. So if Steph Curry played 21 minutes in the first game, I anticipate him getting around 24 minimum, right? Maybe 24, 26, something along those lines. He's playing Sacramento. He's 7'3". He looks like, if you want to, his price doesn't indicate necessarily that he's a stud, but I consider Steph Curry a stud, right? When the regular season comes, no Clay, I understand they have other pieces. Hold on, what's this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brennan and Moochie talking about FanDuel, how they're with the crazy prices. Embiid, Harden, only 6K. They really make you think over there. I have to admit, like, I plan on playing FanDuel during the regular season. I didn't do it in the preseason because I just kind of want to get myself in the mindset also of pricing and salaries and what is this player worth and point per minute versus minute expectation. I want to get myself in that rhythm. And on FanDuel, it seems more like all game theory over there. Like, yeah, you're going to play the best guys, but you have to have some game theory. It's like I said, like, it take balls on DraftKings. The dude that burned us yesterday, Silva, who didn't even fucking play. He on DraftKings, he was fairly popular, right? In a lot of contests, he was over 20%. On FanDuel, I'm sure I would assume he was extremely low owned, because who the fuck's clicking his name over, Cat for the same for a similar price or whatever. So the FanDuel preseason is a lot of game theory. For now. When the regular season comes, it's back to it. But anyway, hit the like button if you haven't already. Appreciate it, guys. Really helps us out. Allows us to continue to do the dirty on YouTube and on Twitch. But yeah, Steph Curry's looking like a pretty awesome play. No Draymond Green. I understand he's got Kelly Oubre there. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is not an alpha. I'm gonna say that. I don't care. He can go out there and ball out today. He's not an alpha. Haven't been digging what I've been seeing. But I do like Steph Curry a lot. Just gonna put him to the side here as someone to keep an eye. 7'3" is just too cheap for the usage we expect from this dude. It's just too cheap. I think Kelly Oubre is the next most interesting to me. I think he's got a little something to prove, right? He's been traded a couple times. He's trying to find a little home here. And he's playing a team that's not very good defensively. I think at times he may see Harrison Barnes, which can make things a little more difficult. I do respect the D in Harrison Barnes. At least I have in the past. Brennan asks, who's your favorite point guards on the slate, price aside? One of them is Steph Curry. Yeah, the price has a lot to do with it. It does. But it's also, like, from a game theory aspect, and it's something you'll see during the regular season that I like to do a lot. I like to go after the late games. There's a lot. I haven't done it a ton of the preseason yet because you're really hanging on to news and you can just get burnt so easily. But during the regular season, you'll find, if you don't know, that the later games always have lower ownership, and it's because people don't have lineups yet. People don't have all the news they think they need. And late swap is a big factor into this strategy. So on FanDuel, it's been very difficult to do. You gotta kind of take the L sometimes when you're wrong. But I like to attack the late games, and I'm gonna try it out tonight. But yeah, Kelly Oubre at 5'9". I also have interest in. He played some decent minutes. Let me look at facts. It's just us hanging. Warriors preseason. All right. Yeah, they only played one. All right. So Oubre got 22 minutes. So he got 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. So he's another one. Like I said, Wiggins just peripherally just doesn't do a ton. You know who had a good game? Is Paschal had a good game. 23 minutes, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 points. That's not bad. I don't mind him. I do expect us to see Oubre and Wiggins get a little bit more minutes. I don't know how that's going to impact Paschal. Who with Draymond out, you know what? We could see Paschal play even more because Draymond's out. Now that I think about it, so Paschal it could be a better play than I'm even letting on. Which is why I like to do these first, early look with you guys. I'm gonna have even Bazemore got 13 points. Now you take away the points and his fantasy output's not great. So I'm not gonna go overboard with a guy like him. But I do think that the Warriors are in play. We don't have a ton of continuity here. Wiggins got there midseason, didn't play with Steph Curry. Draymond's out anyway. Steph Curry hasn't really played with some of these guys, like Paschal. He hasn't played a ton with these guys. Hasn't played at all with Oubre, who's brand new. So I do think I know that Kerr has said he's going to ease his guys in, but in the first game, playing over 20 minutes is not bad when you only have 3. So now I do think that they're going to kind of ease their guys in the regular season as well. So maybe we don't see guys get 33, 34, 35 minutes out the gate, but I think that he's going to want to play his guys around 30 in the regular season to start. So you got to work them up. I think that game 2, this could be a situation where we see it. So I like Oubre. I do like Paschal. I think Paschal is someone I kind of overlooked when I initially pulled this team up. GPPs, obviously, you could take a shot on Chris. Some of these other fucking guys, if you want to. But this team has to get some shit right. Wanamaker's over there. There you go, Wanamaker. Sacramento side. Pull up my notes on Sacramento. The Kings have played 2 out of 4 games, so they have 4 games total. De'Aaron Fox played around 25 minutes in both. I think it was like 25 in one, 26 in the other, or something like that. Hield played 23 and 26 through the first 2. So they're already kind of getting minutes. They still have a couple games to go. But I expect that if we know we're going to get a minimum of that, I don't think that's bad. I think De'Aaron Fox, his price has dropped a little too far on DraftKings for if you're going to give me 25 minimum and maybe upside of 28, 29, I think De'Aaron Fox is way too cheap at 7-1 because if I thought he was going to get that in the regular season, I would surely take that. So I do like De'Aaron Fox. We'll come back to Halliburton in a second. I like Buddy Hield as well. He's back in the starting lineup, at least from what we've seen. We know he's aggressive as a shooter. Still no Bagley. So we're still going to need someone to take that semi-alpha role. So I like Hield as well. As you can see, I'm kind of setting up for a little game stack action here. I think that's what's happening. Forward position, Barnes is okay, but just okay. He's also a vet. Bielitsa, Jabari's out. We have a lot of guys out with sore backs. Trying to carry the team on their back, though. Not working out great. Bielitsa at 4-7. Tournament play. I think with some of these extra injuries, maybe we see him play a little bit more. But Richaun Holmes, right? Seems like a pretty solid center play, in my opinion. Let's look at what Richaun Holmes has been doing in the absence of Bagley. Take a look at this. So we've had 2 games, right? We'll look at game 1 first. First game, Holmes got 27 minutes. He didn't do a whole ton with those minutes. He sucked. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 8 points, but he got 27 minutes. Game 2, Holmes got 26 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. So I would assume he's going to get, it wasn't quite as much, but I would assume he gets somewhere around the same. Now, maybe they decide to try to play Frank Kaminsky a little bit more. They have other players, obviously, that they could try to play. But they do have an injury at the position, right, with Marvin Bagley. So I think Richaun Holmes looks pretty solid at 4,800. If you look, he's played 2 games over 25 minutes. You would think maybe his floor is somewhere around there. And the comforting part is, even if it's not, you would still expect him to have a shot to hit that. Even if he gets 20 minutes, you still expect him to have a shot to pay off 4,800. Let's see. Now, okay, let's go to Halliburton. So, this kid, game 1, Halliburton played 20 minutes. Right now, mind you, there is an injury that they can take advantage that they've been taking advantage of. It's Corey Joseph, Kojo, who's out again. Halliburton's obviously the young guy. In game 2, he got 30. De'Aaron Fox still played 25. He'll play 26. So the guys, they still got a lot of, some decent minutes in. But they found a way to play Halliburton 30 minutes in this game, and he kind of balled out, right? 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 11 points. Not bad. The question is, does he see another 30 minutes? Because if he doesn't, we've seen the floor. So I'm curious to see what his ownership looks like when the time comes. As of right now, I'm kind of like on that borderline of like, all right, well, I really like Fox Hield and these other guys, Holmes. I'm just like kind of cool with him. So I'm not sure what Halliburton. 5K is not bad if he's going to get that again, but I don't know if he will. It is the preseason. You want to see the young guys play. We are missing Kojo, so there is a good chance he does. But I feel a little bit more comfortable sticking with the natural starters here because, number one, the matchup's pretty good. Right? Golden State ain't looking so great defensively right now. You tell me Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, and that's not a knock on these guys. They try. Maybe not Wiggins so much. But, yeah, I don't know. So Halliburton's kind of up in the air. Question mark. Brennan says, who are your favorite point guards on the slate? Price aside. So I mentioned Curry and Fox right now, at least for tournaments. Needed only Dylan Brooks and Joe Val to cash in 10K last night. Only 115. Oh, man. That's rough, bro. That's rough, Mochi. But at least you were there, man. It's nice to get there early. Nice to get there early. Hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. Please hit that like button. We will continue to do some free NBA content. But the likes go a long way. And the likes in the NBA have been stingy, man. In the NFL, we get some cooperation. Obviously, we don't get the amount of views I wish we would get. This YouTube politics, having a rank and all that shit, right? But I have to say, the NBA, man, so far, the views have been kind of growing. It's cool, but the likes, stingy with the likes, man. Stingy. It helps us. We got to eat somehow, and it helps us. We're just trying to grow the thing, but we're doing this. Andrew Wiggins or Oubre? I like Oubre better. I just think Oubre is going to do a little bit more. I think he's more of a higher motor player, in my opinion, than Wiggins. I think Oubre, peripherally, he's likely to do a little bit more rebounds, steals, all that kind of shit. Wiggins, I think, is kind of becoming. Maybe I'm wrong. He can go out there and ball today, maybe look like an asshole, foot in the mouth status. But he seems almost comfortable standing in the corner at times. That's all I'm saying. John Wall or Steph Curry on FanDuel. Oof, I still think I go Steph Curry. Steph Curry, for those who don't remember, last year he didn't really play. But in years past, like before KD was there, or even in the few times he played and everybody else was out, we've seen Steph Curry with that kind of usage. And I mean, we're talking about Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson being replaced by Kelly Oubre and Wiggins. So at some point, we're going to see Curry play similarly to how we expect him to play during the regular season. And that's just taking a shit ton of shots and having a ton of usage. So I expect to see that sometime soon. But all right, Nation, I'm going to get out of here. Again, this is just the early look. We have our pre-lock show. We do take you about 45 minutes prior to lock into lock. I get joined by PAULIE D. That's behind the paywall at WiseTake.com. You can get a day pass, $2.50. You'll get access to that and Paulie D's fast break sheet. Just a real quick sheet that kind of tells you who the cash game core is, the tournament core is, and then, of course, has a little player pool and even the favorite game stack. It's called Bust of the Day, Alpha of the Day. It's a really cool thing. So make sure you, come back and do the dirty. Or check us out at WiseTake.com for more. I'm getting out of here. Appreciate those of you hanging out with me. And I can see you tomorrow. hopefully I see y'all later for the pre-lock show. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.
Yes.